This woman in South Alabama is doing $780,000 with no emails, no receipts, no everything on paper, just absolute like spitballing it from her head. And she's doing about $1 million a year. So if anybody's listening to this podcast and they're like, I don't know if I got an Emmy, you do.
Our first call we had with Pearson the same night, and if it wasn't for him, we probably would not have this business right now. What he had suggested that really helped us was to see about negotiating a seller carries note. And we were able to do $75,000 of that and put it on the back of the loan. And that helped our monthly payment just tremendously.
So the primary game plan right now is to get Shelby to quit her job. And then we want to get that to at least $2 million within the next 1.5 to 2 years.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Action Academy podcast. Right now, we have got one of the most on-site podcasts that we have done. We've got Chance and Shelby Mancuso. Chance is in the literal parking lot sitting in his car of the business that they just bought. Shelby just got off of work over in Mobile, Alabama. She's sitting in her car. So we're getting, it's like the news channel when you're getting like the live reporter on site. Is what we're getting right now. So Shelby and Chance, welcome to Action Academy podcast.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So Chance, let's start off with you because we got two different streams here. So I'll kind of just call on each one of you. Tell us a little bit about who you guys are and, you know, what got you interested in business buying in general.
Yeah. So I'm Chance Mancuso. We live in South Baldwin County, about 30 minutes north of Orange Beach and Gulf Shores. Shelby and I, we've been doing, W-2 jobs practically our whole life. Shelby, she's always been a big entrepreneur. She's always, hey, what can we do to like get out of this W-2 job? I've also, myself, I really haven't been like that focused in doing a W-2 job and getting away from that until recently. But we started out with doing long-term rentals. Long-term rental really wasn't doing it for us, really, moving the needle, getting us to the next step. And then 6 months later, after we bought our first long-term, we bought a short-term in Foley and started Airbnb in that. And that did really, really good, but still really wasn't kind of our goals with doing the rental properties was to at least get Shelby away from her job to focus on, doing bigger and better things. And then after we did that for a whole year, we said, really and truthfully, if we really want to accomplish the goals and dreams that we want, we need to buy a business. And so that was the next step that we took, and we got on Biz Buy Sell and started just looking for businesses.
Sweet. And then when you guys were in the process of identifying, what cash flow you needed, what cash flow are you guys trying to replace? And kind of what was the moment where you saw business buying and you realized that could be the actual thing to get you there?
So Shelby, she makes more money at the time. She made more money than me. So the big thing was trying to replace her income. And then once we kind of saw like what the price range that we were really looking for to what we were going to buy, it was a lot easier to replace my income first. So we saw something that was going to be able to replace my income initially so I could quit my job and start running the business, and something that had the potential and obvious growth to where we could easily replace Shelby's income within 6 months to a year.
Yeah. Dude, I freaking like it because that's what's cool about kind of husband-wife dynamic duos coming into this, because you guys get to pick and choose, especially with a dual income household, is you get to choose, okay, who wants to leave their job first. All right, cool. Like now you can kind of go into it. I'm buying a gym right now with another guy in Action Academy, Zach Babishkin, and then him and his wife, Kelly, are both going to be coming in, and Kelly's going to be the one that's kind of general managing the gym. So it's going to be super exciting. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Speaking of which, Shelby just popped back on. So Chance was just saying that you were making a little bit more money than him. So in the beginning, so now he was able to come out and he's able to kind of run the day-to-day of the business. And then the next goal is to get you out. So tell us a little bit about, he just told me why you guys bought the business. So tell me about the actual process of like you guys finding Action Academy, finding this business, and then actually, negotiating the deal.
Yeah, so I have actually been listening to Action Academy for probably about a year now. And we actually went through a few different interview processes with a couple of different communities. We actually talked to Cody Sanchez community, a couple other ones. We did not feel
Clever.
like they were all we didn't feel like they were the best fit for us, and that's because we are not necessarily asset specific, I guess. Like, we have our
Hmm.
real estate properties that we love. I love my short-term rental, but we really like the business aspect as well. So we love how Action Academy just has pretty much all of it. So whenever we were kind of, back and forth on actually joining, well, then we got the business under contract, and we started seeing whenever we were getting our bank terms back and things that we were like, we really need some extra support here. We need people to lean on. We've never bought a business before, even though I run a multi-million-dollar company for the dental offices. I've never bought a business, so I need a little help here. So that's when we decided to do the interview. Caitlin threw us right in. Our first call we had with Pearson the same night, and if it wasn't for him, we probably would not have this business right now. He gave us just solid tips on what we needed to do. And what he had suggested that really helped us was to see about negotiating a seller carries note. And we were able to do $75,000 of that and put it on the back of the loan. And that helped our monthly payment just tremendously to where we felt a lot more comfortable with it. And so because of that, that worked out really great. And yeah, so it just kind of kept going forward. The seller, she was on board with it. She felt that, that would work out well for her as well. And there we were. So
It's so simple. I mean, if I can paint this up in a storybook every time, I mean, I'd love everybody to join Action Academy and save $75,000 on their
right.
first call. That sounds sick. I like that. That makes me a happy camper. Shout out Pearson, who I own 2 companies with, and I funded them.
Yes.
So he's ripping himself. So for somebody that's listening and they're like, okay, Shelby, you just said seller financing. I kind of sort of understand seller financing, but not like really, really.
Hmm.
Can you explain like why you guys use seller financing and kind of how you structured it in the deal to where it was beneficial for you guys and the seller?
Yeah, so originally she originally was asking $650 for the business. And that was something me and Chance, kind of amount we felt comfortable with without bringing in a capital partner, which we wanted to do for our first
Hmm.
business. We want to own multiple. But for the first one, we just wanted it to be me and him. And we negotiated her down to 600. Well, when we got the bank terms back, like I said, they were just a little higher than we were comfortable with. So then we went back and we negotiated the $75,000 carries note. So what that was is we basically took $75,000 of the 600 that we agreed on, and we moved that to the back end of the loan. So we do not have to pay that $75,000 back until we either refinance our SBA loan or once it's just paid off completely. And then we have to pay her back at a 5% interest rate. So with us moving that to the back of the loan, it made our loan terms a lot more favorable for us, and it brought it down really I think it brought it down about like $2,000 to $2,500, which we again, we're much more comfortable with. So yeah, so we're not responsible for paying her any portion of that back until the end of the loan. And then also because the type of business we bought and the fact that she had taken her foot off the pedal a little bit the last few years, that also kind of let us know that, she was confident enough in this business and the model of it that we would be fine enough to be able to pay her that $75,000 back at the end of the term.
Hmm. And what I like about seller financing too, and then Chance, I'll go into you here to kind of talk about what the actual business is and what it does and how you guys are going to come in. Because again, you're literally sitting in the parking lot of it right now.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about seller finance for people listening also is it's really the best way to keep the sellers honest in a
Hmm.
transition, because they have a little bit of skin in the game. They want to make sure that you're able to pay them the note. So with that being tacked on to the end of the loan on top of the SBA, which you guys primarily used for this,
Hmm.
now the seller's like, I can't just give them a dumpster fire and then have them drive it to the ground because they're not going to be able to pay me my note.
Exactly.
And so that's why we love to always have at least 5-10% seller carry if possible, because then that's what keeps people honest. Because at the end of the day, the only way to actually trust somebody in a business transaction is if you have aligned incentives. And so seller carry aligns incentives for people listening through when it's just SBA. I'm sorry, if the person is coming on and they have no seller financing included in the deal, they're gonna punt this and disappear to the Florida Keys. You ain't hearing from them. Their phone's going to be on do not disturb, and you're going to be on the blocked list. So that's what I really like about that. So Chance, can you tell us a little bit about what the business actually is? You guys got it for 600. We got about, I think, about 180, almost 200K SDE of profit.
Hmm.
So tell us a little bit about the actual business.
Yeah, so the actual business is a glass business. The name of the business is One Cut Glass. And so we do a lot of, honestly, if you think of anything glass, we probably do it. But our primary focus is like installing residential windows, shower glass doors, or if someone just had the entire shower just retiled and everything, we come in there, get the measurements, and give you a booklet, and we just create the perfect shower for you that you just have the dream of. So we do that, and then we also still have traditional like hand free glass cutting. So we have a lot of people that come in that, whether they have a coffee table that they built or something like that, that's just got this crazy design and like, hey, can you cut this piece of glass for us? So we bring it in and they have their measurements, design, everything that want. We take it back to the table and freehand cut it right there. And then we have, do some commercial doors for, the commercial doors that have glass. And yeah, I mean, as far as like the actual glass part of the business, that's pretty much what we do.
Super cool. And then, so how many employees do we have? How long's the business been going? And then, kind of, what's the plan for y'all now in the future?
Yeah, so we have 5 employees or 5 technicians, and we have one office manager, and then myself. I'm in there kind of helping out, pretty much trying to stay away from it as much as possible, but I really have to stay into it because one of the downsides of like what Shelby was mentioning with the business is it was honestly ran like it was in the 1980s. So everything's paper. She hated computers, so there was so much minimal technology that I'm having to practically spend every single day getting rid of paper and getting to the current modern era. So that's been like the big part of like that's our main next step right now. But so we have 5 employees, technicians, one in the office, and then trying to get everything updated there with the technology and trying to just really grow and expand and do some advertisement because also the business has always been word of mouth. There's like $0 ever spent in advertisement. So that was another like big focal point for us where it was like, I mean, this really seems like it's the business for us because I mean, it's practically running on word of mouth.
Yeah. So the funny thing about businesses is, online they're kind of labeled as passive income, which I don't think is true. I think businesses are very much so active income. But the way that
Mhm.
I'm thinking about it and the way that you guys have it set up is it's like, okay, cool. You get to come in and drive this revenue, drive this change, switch over all these processes to make everything more efficient, which everybody will be happy about. Start doing advertising, which should double the business or triple the business, especially by the time you guys get to a point of hiring a sales team. That's a commission only outbound kind of sales team that we just did with me and Pearson's companies, about doubled the revenue of the company. So when you guys do that, you own 100% of this company, you know?
Mhm.
So now all the upside is going to you guys
Yeah.
instead of the boss getting rich, now it's like you guys are the boss that are getting rich.
Oh, for sure.
So,
Yeah, that was a man. That was a big thing for us. Is we really sat down one day after doing everything that we've already done in the past for the rental properties. Like, honestly, we feel like we're getting taken advantage by bosses. They don't treat you right, and you do all the decisions that you're making working for somebody else. You're making their life better, but what are they doing to make yours better? So that was one thing too, and kind of to build off your last question, like our primary goal is to get us to a point to where a year to hopefully just a year, if not less, but to get this place to a point to where we can step away and kind of go and do as we come and start the process on buying another business. But not only because we realize and recognize from our past or previous employers that, it's kind of a goal of ours to make sure that our employees and everything get to actually have like a respectful job to the point to where
mhm.
like they have a good environment that they can come work for. Like they're not taken advantage of by their superiors or stuff like that.
Yeah. No, it's a good way of thinking about things. And so Shelby, so you manage a couple of locations. So you're used to kind of being in the management seat. How does it feel already kind of being involved with this versus your current career, Like how is it different? How is it the same? What skill sets are you kind of transferring over?
Yeah, so right now I manage about 65 employees and 9 to 10
Woo.
doctors. So yeah, it's a lot. And honestly, it has the employees that we have at this job, they have been like nothing short of amazing. Like all of them, and I know that's not the case when you buy a new business all the time, but they have been just so great. They're all so excited of everything that we're doing, and they're just completely on board. And just that has been such a breath of fresh air, just having them on board and excited for everything we're also doing. But really just taking the job that I'm in right now, really where the problem is I hit a ceiling all the time. Like there is
Sure.
this, it has, so much potential, and there's really an owner problem, when they don't see the culture problems and they don't see where systems need to be put in place. You can only do so much when you're not the owner. And I just feel at that point, that I'm just beating a dead horse, and I'm kind of tired of that. I'm ready to create the culture and bring the people in. I have really great communication skills. I really know how to communicate with people, whether that's on a positive level or giving constructive criticism. I'm, not to sound conceited or anything like that, but I am very respected at my current job, very looked up to, because I do manage difficult situations very well. And that is something that I am excited to bring over to our job. And also, like I said, building that culture, having that open communication relationships with these people, and knowing that they're valued and that they are appreciated, and just giving them, like I said, something to look forward to every day, something to build
Yeah.
on.
I love when you guys are talking, and these are my favorite interviews to do because it's just like that's exactly why we do what we do, and that's exactly why we built what we built. Was like, and I'm trying to think about a very like kind and kind of political way to say this, but I'll just say it how I'm thinking it. I don't think business buying is for anybody that just is working a job and kind of doing a half-ass job, and they're not really that great at it. And they got like 10 grand in their bank account, and now they're looking to go be a business owner because they think that that's like passive, and then that's the life. That's not who we talk to, and that's not who's in Action Academy. So I like what
Hmm.
you said there, where you're like, hey, no, like I'm the best of the best. Like I actually really am great at my job. And the reason that I'm buying a business is I'm so good actually at what I do today that I can't be better unless I'm the person that's actually just whose name is on the door. And I can't see that for me here. And because I can't see that for me here, I'm going to go buy it so that you guys don't have to start it from scratch. And like that's my favorite person to help you. Like you guys are my favorite people to help because that was me too. I was like, dude, what are we doing over here? Like, there's got to be more than this. I was selling uniforms, There's got to be more than this.
Oh, and
And
that's what I
so,
wake up to. So many days, I'm like, there is no way this is it. Like, I have been
yeah.
wanting to be like top dog at this. I've been here for 10 years this month. I'll be here for 10 years. And I've worked my way from front desk to the absolute top, aside from being an owner. And I'm like, there's
Hmm.
no way this is it. Like, I am not doing this the rest of my life. Like, I'm not. I'm doing something better, and I'm creating something for myself and my husband and maybe our future kids if we decide that one day, whatever, it may be.
Yeah. So let's go real quickly, and then so I'll ask this question, Shelby, and I'll have a follow up to Chance. So what was a lot of people talk about this stuff, right? And they come in and they talk and talk and talk. They're like, I want to buy a business, I want to buy a storage facility, I want to buy a mobile home park. I'm sick of my single family, but they don't really actually do anything about it. So what do you think actually was like the line in the sand that made y'all different, that made you actually do something about it and made you guys like action takers? Because a lot of people, even some in Action Academy, like they come in and all of a sudden it's been 6 months and they haven't submitted an offer.
I know for myself, I am extremely ambitious and very disciplined. And for me, if I say I'm going to do something, I am a woman of my word. And if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I said, when I told Chance that I was going to buy 2 houses in 1 year, he thought I was crazy. He's like, there's no way. And I did. And then, I was like, okay, I want to quit my job in 5 years. And now that was a year and a half ago. And I'm like, no, actually, I want to quit it sooner. So this is what I'm going to do to get there. And so I did it. I think probably 3 months prior to us putting an offer in is when we first started talking about, let's go the business route. Let's buy a business. And then 3 months later, we had, our offer, and we were ready to go.
Let's freaking go. So Chance, we've got the business. We've got the business down. You guys had that same that conversation with Pearson that helped you with the seller finance. Talk a little bit about the importance of community. So, I mean, even if somebody's listening to this and they don't join Action Academy, if they join something, like give some examples of like what's the importance of community throughout this entire process, because a lot of people are trying to do this on their own, dude, and it's just I've done it. It sucks to do on your own. Can you share some examples or advice on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the community, to be honest with you, and I've had several conversations with the people within the community, and like the first thing that I always say is like, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for the community, the process and everything that we are doing now, it would have been extremely hard and difficult because I mean, you have the open, especially in Action Academy, you have so much availability to different groups, whether it's the capital raising or the small business, and like there's so many people that you can just throw out a random question that maybe you think might be stupid, yet they've probably experienced it or know someone that has, and they can give you that feedback and help you down that path or journey. So I mean, it's been really really awesome for us, and it also, like, I may butcher it, if I do, correct me, I'm sorry, but Fatih, he
Oh
did
yeah,
our
Fatih, yeah.
Fatih. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry if you're listening.
Yeah, Fatih,
So
screw you, Fatih. Nah, nah, it makes sense.
yeah, but no, he's awesome. So he actually said that we were his first onboarding call, and so the entire process, he just texts me all the time and says, "Hey, how's it going?" So I mean, you just the support and care that you have from people in there that actually genuinely care about what you're doing and want to help you get to that next step is just truthfully the best part about being a part of this community. Is, I mean, it's awesome, truly.
Dude, it was crazy. We were in Cancun, and like Fatih and Mo, our sales guys, our people that were over memberships, were there, and everybody was clapping for him, and everyone was like giving him a round of applause. I'm like, guys, like take a look around. Like this may be the only time in history where like everyone's like, hey, yeah, the sales guys are here. Yeah, we want to hang out with you. Thanks. Like you rock. I'm like, man, ain't nobody hanging out with me when I was selling uniforms. Like nobody wanted to talk to me after. It's like we did a good service, but they're like, all right, we're good, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, and it's really cool. So, what are your guys' big dreams with the company? So, I think I asked you a little bit, Chance, but over the next 3 years, I know we want to buy another company, but what revenue do we want to get this up to? Kind of what are the immediate things besides introducing the team to the internet? What are we trying to do?
Well,
So
I'm
the
sorry. I just wanted to say something really quick about the
Yeah, sure.
community as well. Something that I have just found very helpful with the community is I feel like a lot of times when you are, like, I feel like I'm not going to say this word correctly, the vulnerability within the community, just how just raw and real people are. And you
Hmm.
don't, and a lot of times I feel like in community, you have people kind of attack you, like if you ask, or feel a certain way. And that is just not it. Like the support and just the graciousness and I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just like nothing I've ever experienced before.
I mean, it's tough.
it
We
really
say
is.
no to a bunch of people. I mean, but the fact that even again in Cancun is the one I can reference the latest because we had 120 of you guys there. But I'm just like, man, it's hard to have this and not have one asshole. But we've done it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard. But I mean, that's what shout out to Mo and Fatih on the front lines because we tell them it's like, hey, you don't have to go and just get everybody to join. Like you can just tell them no, it's okay.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
I
and
think
I think that's awesome.
it's made all the difference. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you guys are experiencing on the back end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's awesome. It really is.
Appreciate it, man. So tell me, yeah, so a little bit about the business and kind of the game plan moving forward.
So the primary game plan right now is to get Shelby to quit her job. She's
I
really
think she's on the same page.
Oh, I gotta get
she's
out of here.
very bitter. She's very bitter because the goal to get us to where we are right now, it was for her to quit her job, and then once we really realized what, like, kind of with not having a capital partner and like realizing what our purchase price was, she's like, yeah. Unfortunately, I make too much money. I'm not gonna be able to quit, so you're gonna have to quit. I was like, all right, that's cool with me. So
You're like, yeah, I got a sugar mama now. Let's
yeah,
Yeah,
go.
right.
yeah, that's
Got
exactly. So
screwed
it
on
worked
that
out
deal.
great for me. Yeah, I just kind of played the game of, I don't really know if I want to do this until it came to the last point so I could quit my job.
Let's
No,
go,
I'm
baby.
kidding. But yeah, so that's first and foremost. And then, um, like Shelby had touched on, like the revenue had kind of dropped right before we purchased it. And then we got to, it has done really, really good in the past where it's done 1.2 million. We want to get that to at least 2 million within the next year and a half to 2 years. Hopefully by the end of 2027, our revenue is at $2 million, if not even higher. We may be shooting ourselves in the foot and just lowballing ourselves saying 2 million, but trying to have something moderately realistic. But that's the primary goal, get more employees, actually have a focus. Because like I said in the beginning, like anything and everything that we do glass is, it's kind of annoying just because there's no like first and foremost structure of, hey, this is what we're really, really good at and this is what we want to do. And I think we have to figure that part out to where we can really have just have our specialties where that's what we do. And that way everyone in the county that we live in says, you know what, that's what I need done. I'm going to call those people and we're going to get that done. And that's going to help boost our revenue.
Because pumpkin plant our industry a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really cool because what's so much fun about it is it scratches that itch of entrepreneurship without you having to go start from nothing, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you're starting on second base, and now you're saying, okay, cool. So I get to come make this into something really cool. Oh, by the way, we've already been able to do $1 million a year. So there's already an existing customer base. There's already service techs. There's already vans. Like they're already going out, and so that's what I like so much about it. Like that's super cool. So what's some roadblocks that you guys have ran into, Chance? Like, can you list like 1 or 2 roadblocks that you guys ran into that you had to overcome?
So a couple of like prior to business, yes, roadblocks, and then while we're in it. So prior to roadblocks, honestly, the SBA, like, especially if you don't have the capital partner and everything like that, you have no choice but to go SBA. So working with SBA
it's a lot.
It's tough. It really is tough. And so our original close date was set for like maybe July 20th or something like that. We didn't end up closing until October 7th. And it was just back and forth of property issues or this issue. And so, that was a big setback. And it almost got to the point numerous times with those setbacks where we're like, I don't even know if we're going to get this business. And like I had pretty much just said, you know what, I'm not going to be quitting my job. It got to that point, but we stayed focused and made sure that we just worked on it each and every day to get us to where we are now. So that was a major roadblock for us there, almost to the point where we just didn't get it. So that, but we were successful. We got to where we are now. The major roadblock, like I said earlier, is paper. Like paper, we have so much stuff that, because when we picked up and started with the business, it was like it never even skipped a beat. So the previous owner, we've had stuff that's come up, whether we're going to do an install on a job or trying to cut someone's glass to where someone didn't write down the phone number, or the piece of paper gets lost, or they never even got put into the invoicing system. And so someone's coming up here calling, asking questions or all that. I have no idea what you're doing. I have no idea what you're saying. So I got to figure that out. So getting rid of paper and getting to where like there's actually like everything wrote down inside of a computer and the cloud, everything, to where if whatever happens, we can figure it out. Paper is the major roadblock right now.
That checks out. You're one match away from losing the business, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, we'll get everything uploaded. Oh man, yeah, that's a task. But like I said, there's always something. Yep.
I was going to say too, another roadblock that I know primarily for me, especially with me only being there 1 day a week, is the pricing strategy. The previous owner, all of the pricing, a lot of it is just kind of in her head. Like, she has it written down on a piece of paper, but as far as like the little nuance of different, things, it's just in her head. She doesn't really have like an actual system down on quoting or pricing and things like that. So really trying to navigate through that and getting set pricing in place that like a 5-year-old could come in and price somebody on a piece of glass is also something that has been a bit of a roadblock that we are really working towards to make that more simplified.
And what's the revenue?
Right now, she was, in 2024, she had done drop to about 780.
She's doing 700. Okay, so I want everybody to finish this podcast out listening to the sentence I'm about to say. This woman, and this is in South Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This woman in South Alabama is doing $780,000 of business per year with no like emails, no receipts, no everything on paper, no pricing strategy, just absolute like spitballing it from her head. And she's doing about $1 million a year. So if anybody's listening to this podcast and they're like, I don't know if I got it in me, you do.
Yeah, that's right.
Like you got it. It's in you. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
man, it's a
go
struggle.
cut glass. So, man, this has been freaking awesome. But I mean, I know you guys are both in your cars. Like Chance, you're probably about to get in. Shelby's about to leave. So, if guys want to reach out to you guys, if they want to follow along, if they want to help in any way in the business, or they want to give you any kind of business themselves, where can they find you guys?
Well, I am making a New Year goal for myself to start documenting our journey more. I do not do very well at that, but like I said, I am definitely working on it. So as of right now, I am pretty active on Instagram and Facebook, but just up under my name, Shelby Mancuso. And then our little Facebook page for our business. Our business is One Cut Glass, but our Facebook page probably hasn't been logged into in maybe 10 years.
I believe it.
We got to get that updated. But as soon as that gets updated, we will be actively posting on One Cut Glass Facebook page, and then Chance has his Instagram and his Facebook as well.
Dude,
Yeah.
Even y'all just having a Google account,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
gonna be
so
crazy, dude.
yeah, we're like Shelby says, we're working on getting all that stuff. It's like that's something we probably should have done yesterday, was have like all of our social media and everything set up, but there's so much paper and I gotta get that taken care
Dude,
of
no,
first.
you're doing things the right way. Do the paper, build the system. So what you guys want to do is, it's the law of constraints. You have one primary constraint at each time that is the preventer of the growth of the business. System part number one, constraint number one, get the systems good. Build the system so that you can manage the lead flow. Once the system's done, then you take all of the effort, you put it into the advertising, because now the systems can handle the advertising. Like, so you're doing it the right way. You can't change 90 things at one time. You just got to do it one by one. But yeah, but guys, this is freaking awesome. Thanks for being flexible with your schedules. I'm glad we finally got this done. I'll let you get back to your day, but guys, thank you so much. And thanks for trusting us with this process. It's been a freaking blast watching you guys win.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We're super excited to be on here, and we are very excited about the surprise event in March to find out where we're going and to actually meet a lot of members in person.
Well, I'll tell you right now where we're going. I haven't announced it yet, so you guys get to be the first ones to know. You want to know?
Yay.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
We're going to Dominican Republic.
Oh,
Awesome.
fun! Never
That's
been
gonna
there.
be awesome.
Going to the Dominican Republic. We got you guys booked out for half of a freaking hotel. Resorts Casa de Campo in Dominican Republic, and we got the whole hotel block just for Action Academy. So there we go.
Excited.
That's gonna be awesome.
Can't wait.
We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to change everything for you guys. Like, you guys coming there, now that you just bought this business, I think that will add $1 million to you. So I'm excited. I'll take time with you guys down there too. I'm excited. So see you guys very soon.
Yeah,
When you
we
put the
can't
email
wait.
out, we were like, that's a no-brainer. We're absolutely doing that.
Let's go. All right, y'all have a good one. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
All
Thanks
right,
for having us.
you too. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.